Riding through grief is a lonely road. Sharing the loss may bring a ray of hope. Whatever the day brings, we must push on through. Trying to do these things, it depends on you.
Hi all, welcome to my channel Riding Through Grief. It's lovely to have you here. I'm sitting in my living room at home, and as you can see outside, the weather is absolutely dire. I think we've got weather warnings for rain and winds today, so not out on the bike as you can guess. Just on quickly to do an update, let you know what's happening with the channel, because there's been lots of changes in recent weeks, months perhaps. So first of all, this house is now mine again. When I say mine again, I've had my in-laws living with me for the past 3 years, over 3 years now. They moved in around August 2021. We obviously had a lot of different plans, and Sarah and I were buying a house and moving elsewhere, and they were maybe going to stay here, but as you know, cancer got in the way. Please forgive me. Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice again. I was doing okay there. I've got terrible lurgy at the moment, so if my voice goes and I start to sound like Scooby-Doo, then you know why. But I want to do this video anyway. I have tried doing video a couple of nights on the bike and my voice sounded like mince. So yeah, decided against it. It was a bit noisy. Anyway, so the house is back to being mine. My in-laws have moved away back to Yorkshire, where they have decided they wanted to go back down south. I don't get it. I don't know why. My mother-in-law always wanted to stay here, but that's changed, so they've done what they've done, and they're away. Now it gives me a chance to start living my life. Having my own space has been something that I've been really wanting. I mean, even for the past 3 years, it's been hard work. With Sarah being ill, I've spent most of my life in my bedroom at night after work, and that's where I've been hibernating. And when Sarah died, I was coming home from work at night and I was going into my bedroom and I was hibernating. I was like a teenager in my own house, not having the run of the place. So it's wonderful to have it back, and I feel like I have a chance to start getting back on track, which is really important. Now, there's issues with the bike. It needs a rear hub bearing and it needs a clutch and a few other things done. So the bike's going into BMW Motorrad on Monday the 6th of January. The local garage can't do the hub bearing because they don't have the tools for it. It's an expensive job, but I have been very, very lucky that I've got such good friends. I'm very humbled that that I've been given a lot of help to get this done. I'm obviously not going to name people, but let's just say that it's absolutely incredible, the generosity of people out there. So I can get the bike fixed, which is amazing and really important. I said in my podcast quite a wee while ago now, I went on a podcast with Gordon, and I've always believed in coming on this channel and been really open and honest with you. I don't see the point. I see some channels, it's all about putting a face on. Not with me. You don't get a face on with me, you just get me, and this is what I am. There's been a lot of ugliness in my life recently that's been directed from members of Sarah's family, and they just don't get that I have been lucky enough to find someone I can love again, which is really difficult. It's something I never thought would happen, something you just don't think about these things, do you? When you're in the throes of grief and you've lost your loved one, the only thing I was thinking is when can I end myself? And I need to reiterate this. I feel as I've got to reiterate this time and again. I've been grieving for years. From the day that Sarah was told she was dying, it's been a journey of absolute hell, watching my wife that I loved more than anything else fade away in front of my eyes. So it's been hard. It's been a hard 4.5 years, and I'm done in. So meeting Charlotte, who came into my life after Sarah died, who was a wonderful person for me to lean on, to talk to. She talked me out of some of my darkest moments. She talked me through it, and she had my life in her hands, and she saved me. So There's got to be something in that. To me, I've never been one that's always been about fate and things, but she's put in my path for a reason. So Charlotte's my angel. She's my saviour. And she's moving here after the new year. So things are changing for me, which is great, but it doesn't change what's happened. It doesn't change the journey. All it does is it adds a different dimension to the journey. So like riding through grief is still riding through grief. It's not going to change. Grief is always going to be there. It's part of who I am. It's part of my history, and I don't want to forget it. Sarah will always be remembered in this home. Always. We have a little display over here. I don't know if I've shown you this, actually. I got this cast done. I don't know if the camera's picking up well. I got this cast done in January this year. This is Sarah and I, and that's her hand, obviously. And it means the world, and we've got some other bits and bobs, but this is going to be kept at home on display with some of Sarah's ashes, and yeah, it's beautiful. And Charlotte has embraced that. She's allowed me, well, not allowed me, I wouldn't have anyone in my life, I don't think that wouldn't, but Charlotte embraces my life with Sarah, and she wants me to remember and wants me to be able to talk about it, and it's things like that that are really important if you're going to manage to move on with your life. And that they two words which I just said, which does my head in, moving on. I'm not moving on. Life throws things in your path, and I've fought against this for a few months, and I realised after some serious counselling that I was silly to not try and accept what's out there and open myself up to new possibilities. And I got that from my bereavement counselling. So I've spent 3 months with occupational health at work, and 9 weeks with the Beats and Cancer Charity bereavement team, and it's been a revelation. It's been fantastic, and it's helped me immeasurably get through this period, this transition. So what I want to do with the channel is I want to keep plodding on. My grief, as I've said before, I think I said in the video before, that a good way, a metaphor for grief is to have 3 jars. I said this in the podcast, and imagine a heart in each jar, and that heart represents grief. Well, the myth, the perception of grief is that heart gets smaller each time. It doesn't. That's wrong. Grief doesn't go away, it doesn't get smaller, it's always there. It lives with you. It's the same size. Now imagine a different metaphor. Imagine it's the same 3 hearts, but they're all the same size. But the jar gets much bigger each time. That jar represents you, or me, or your heart, or whatever way you want to look at it. That jar represents how much room you're making in your life as you move on. So the grief stays the same, but we, as a person, learn to grow around it. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm very, very lucky, I suppose, that I've found someone that loves me enough to move country and sell up her business and everything to come here. That just doesn't happen often in life, does it? And I really need to grasp it with both arms. So what I want to do with the channel is I want to continue. Sarah's always going to be a subject of discussion. She's always part of my life. She's always going to be part of my life. The last 4.5 years I've suffered immensely. I mean, the nightmares only disappeared a few months ago, and it was a traumatic end. I still have big legal cases going on. There's a lot going on in my life that's still very relevant. Mental health is part of what Riding Through Grief's all about. It's about being able to start a conversation with people and give people the opportunity to open up, perhaps, or understand that they're not alone. That's really important to me, that you, if you're dealing with things, are not alone. That there's other people like me, Big Gordon, there's a few people that have made comments in the channel, obviously I can't name them, but and folk have suffered in many, many ways, whether it's grief, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all come under the banner of mental health. And I want this channel to still remain a focus on using my motorbike, and hopefully yours, as a tool to navigate life, navigate mental health issues, and be able to try and speak about it. That's the ultimate goal, and that's the way this channel is going to continue. And as time goes on, I'm going to introduce Charlotte into the channel, because she's now part of that journey. It's an absolute inherent fact that she's now in my life, and I want her to be part of my life, and I'm hoping that you will stick with me for that. The channel's ultimately about a guy riding a motorbike and trying to find ways to navigate. Well, that's what's been happening. That's exactly, you've seen the transition from when I did my first video in May this year, when I was down at Erskine Beach and I was talking about trying to navigate, trying to figure out things. That transition, I spent, 2 years roughly with the thoughts and the notions that once Sarah died, I was going to drink a bottle of morphine and end myself. Charlotte managed to talk me out of that. And I've transitioned from that through the nightmares of the last moments of Sarah's death, which, I've not slept for years properly, through to doing the NC 500, coping with that. I failed the first time, as you know, because I couldn't cope, and finding my way through to this situation where over a period of months I found myself tied in knots because I was starting to have feelings for someone who was empathetic towards me and sympathetic and caring and listened to me talking about Sarah constantly, and we have just grown together very quickly, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. So that's been a transition, and I think that's a wonderful transition. I think people that I've had a couple of comments, and I've had no comments from friends or my own family. Everything's been super wonderful, supportive. But a couple of comments from a certain member of a certain family have been really ugly. But these are people that haven't walked in my shoes, and until you walk in my shoes, you'll never understand. And I'm sure anyone that's had grief themselves, lost a partner, wife, parents, son, daughter, it doesn't matter. Everyone's grief is different. It's a very subjective thing. Your grief is your own. How you navigate it is your own. What I'm here to do is try and show you how I'm navigating mine, in the hope that it inspires someone to pick up a phone, send a text message, talk to people, go to counselling. I would highly recommend the group therapy type counselling, and I've met a wonderful bunch of people at the therapy group, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to name them, but amazing people, and we have made a little WhatsApp group, and it's just lovely. It's lovely to be able to talk to people that just know exactly how you feel, and that's why we're here in this channel. Not everybody that's on this channel is a biker. I don't expect everybody to be a biker. It's just me that's a biker. This is how I'm navigating it, and obviously through that I've met an awful lot of other bikers out there that have just been amazing, and your support's been wonderful. So for those of you that are still with us today, subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. It's incredible. This channel is going to continue. It's going to grow. It's going to change through time, but the channel's overriding theme is always going to be about starting that conversation, getting people to talk, helping people understand, and this is why we're here. This is why I started it. This is Sarah's legacy. This channel, this is what it's all about. It's something that Sarah and I talked about, and it's something I very much wanted to do, find ways to help other people, and that's still the goal today. If I can go out and do anything to help someone that's in pain, emotional pain, then I want to. That's my goal. That's what I want to do with my life. How I'm going to do it, I don't know. How it works, I don't know. There's loads of things to do. Oh, and Christmas this year, I said I'm not celebrating Christmas. As you can probably tell, I've got no Christmas tree up. I've decided I'm here in Moan anyway, so I'm not going to bother. But I was looking at options to do charity work on Christmas Day, and that would sort of fulfil my time and make it useful. So thanks for coming along. This has just been a wee update to talk to you. I'm looking forward to getting the bike all fixed and repaired in January and getting on the road. Charlotte's going to be getting some bike gear as well, so she'll be joining me in a lot of journeys going forward. So when it gets into the better weather, we'll be going runs, and you'll get to meet Charlotte. And I hope you're happy for me. I really do. I love Sarah. I'll love Sarah for the rest of my life. She'll always have a place in here, and in here we'll have her displays here. That's never going to change. But I have made room in my heart. I have grown, and a lot of that's down to the counselling and the ability to understand and realise and just open myself up to new possibilities. So I really hope that you can be happy that I have been very lucky and fortunate to find someone who's willing to give up so much to be with me. It's humbling, it's amazing, and there you go. Welcome to the end of 2025. Gordon and I are going to do a wee podcast tomorrow, so I'll pop that up on Christmas Eve. and I hope whatever happens, you have a wonderful Christmas, or the best you can have. I know there's people there that have lost someone, and it's a difficult time of year. I'm doing it my way, which is to help other people. I'm not really celebrating as such, but that's just how I feel I've got to do. And maybe next year, next Christmas, I'll have much more reasons to celebrate, and things will be different. But whatever you do, stay safe, and don't forget when you know, tell the people you love that you love them. Give them a hug. Don't be afraid. Don't leave things unsaid. I'll catch you later. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Be kind to someone else.